Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, as we all know, Janmashtami is nearing. It's on Friday, 19th August. So, to welcome the Lord of the Lord Sri Krishna in our heart of the hearts, we have to first cleanse our heart, right? Any guest also come in our house, what do? We clean our house, we clean our rooms, we clean our tables, so that the guest who is coming feels comfortable, right? So now the Lord of the Lord, the creator of the universe is coming. So we are talking about his birth, how he takes incarnation, why he takes incarnation. Sometimes these questions are very much troubling to our heart, that how come the creator is born? Then we say in Brahma Samhita, he is unborn. He never takes birth. But then we celebrate Janmashtami, his birthday. So these are some basic questions which we all need to know and which we all need to understand. So today we'll try to start reading Sri Krishna book. So it's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we will read it every day till Janmashtami, and if Krishna willing, after Janmashtami also. So I'll request everyone on the call or whoever watches on YouTube later also to buy this book from your nearest ISKCON center, and then you can join us in reading and have eternal bliss. The happiness we have in this material world is limited, so it is like a bubble. It comes up, and the next minute we are morose over something or the other. But the happiness we acquire after learning about the Lord of the Lord, learning about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is all merciful, then we can have eternal bliss, the bliss which is never ending. Okay, so we'll start with chapter 1. First, we'll do Mangacharan. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavadi Pashatadeshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
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 Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Rama Rama Hare Hare.
So it is, we are reading from Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, chapter 1. So let's get ready to unfold the very basic questions. How, why Krishna takes birth, why Krishna takes incarnation, how he has come to this world, right? So let's start with it. Chapter 1, the advent of Lord Krishna. Agrima, you will start, beta?
Yes, ma'am. Once the world was overrun by the unnecessary defense force of different kings, who were actually Germans, while the posing themselves in royal order. At the time, the whole world became aberrant and pedigrammatic. Deleted the earth knows Bhumi. Went to the Lord Brahma, tell the Calimates due to democratic cranes. Bhumi imitated the shape of a cow, presenting himself before Lord Brahma with tears in her eyes. She was berated was beaming with the enough or lot comparisons. She related to counterposition of earth and after hearing after hearing Brahma was accompanied by her demigods, heads of Lord Shiva and Bhumi also followed. Arrive, Arriving on the shore of the Milk Ocean, Lord Brahma began signifying Lord Vishnu, who has formally saved the earthly planet by assuming the translation for, from a boar.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So it's so nice. So here, Srila Prabhupada is telling us that when anything is overburdened by miseries, right? That time only we remember Lord. And here, Mother Earth, Bhumi, is burdened, not only burdened, overburdened by the atrocities of different kings because there was no religion. They were not following any religion, just doing whatever they want to do according to their minds. So same thing for us when we are overburdened with our desires. Oh, I want this. Oh, I want this. I want to do this. I want to eat this. I want to buy this. That friend has this thing. Now I also want. And then in want, what happens? We become the compassion inside us that slowly becomes hardened because we become self-centered. We don't think what our scriptures tell us to behave, to act, and to do. And what we start doing, what I want is correct, and by hook or by crook, I want this. And when we behave like that, we become a trouble to our near and dear ones. So similarly, Mother Earth, who is providing everything to us, the water, minerals, plants, everything, you name it, and Mother Earth is providing you, right? Bricks, soil to make houses, everything she's providing. So when people don't do any sacrifices for these things and just keep on using it, then the Mother Earth at some point of time she becomes aggrieved. Then she feels enough. I cannot keep on bearing it like this, right? If so, what she did, she took a form of a cow. So our Shastras, our scriptures tell us that cow is the most holy of all animals. So she is the most holiest animal present on the earth. That's why Mother Earth took form of a cow, and cow is the dearmost to Krishna. So now she took the form of a cow and went to Lord Brahma with tears in her eyes. So she's praying to Lord Brahma that I am in such a miserable condition. So please let me get relieved from this. And what Brahmaji said, oh, I can do it. Come. With one click, I can do it. Come, I'll solve your problem. No. Brahmaji took her to the ocean of milk. Now we know there is an ocean with salty water, right? But our scriptures tell us that there are many oceans of oil, of sugar, of salt, of gold, of jewels. Like you name it, and ghee, butter, like that, there are many oceans in the outer world. So this world is just the reflection of what actually the real world, the real Golok Dham of Krishna is. So he took him there. So what we learn from these chapters is that we cannot have direct darshan of Krishna. We have to meditate first. How do we meditate? By chanting. By chanting, children.
Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Say.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Yes. So when we meditate like this, Krishna himself, who is residing in our heart as Super Soul, he reveals himself to us. Right? So similarly, Brahmaji, with all other demigods, led by Lord Shiva and Bhumi Devi also, they all went to Milk Ocean, where Lord Vishnu is resting in Shirodakshai Sagar. So it's that to approach that Vishnu, even Brahmaji cannot see him face to face. Like we say, okay, WhatsApp call, video call. Okay, hello, Lord Vishnu. Now this is the problem incarnate. No, we can, although it is said we can approach Krishna by, to approach Krishna, we don't need any internet connection. We can just approach him like that. Anywhere, any part of the world, any time of the world you are there, you call him with your heart and you can actually please him. But then to please him, there are certain rules and regulations which have to be followed. First thing is faith. That faith that yes, we are part and parcel of Krishna and he is loving Father. So whenever we are in problem, he is going to help us. Okay. So this way this chapter starts, and then so here it is written that in that form of meditation, when they were all meditating on Krishna, they couldn't invoke his compassion. But when Brahmaji sat in meditation personally and he chanted with his whole heart, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Krishna book tells us there was a message transmission from the Lord to the Brahma. And then Brahma broadcasted the message to demigods. So Lord Krishna SMS personal message to Lord Brahma in his heart. It's not a phone, it's not an iPhone or Samsung or Moto or any phone. It's just heart to heart connection. So devotional service to understand Krishna, to welcome Krishna in our hearts in this beautiful festival of Janmashtami, we have to have heart to heart connection with Krishna. And to have heart-to-heart connection, we have to get our heart cleansed. And cleansed of what? We'll learn in a few minutes. Okay, so through heart, he told Brahmaji that I am taking incarnation, but then you have to tell all the demigods to take birth in Braja before Krishna to support Krishna's mission. Right? So you can understand this by a simple example that when some prime minister or some delegatories, they travel to other countries, what happens? First, the people who their escorts go there, and then they check whether the route is clear, whether the hotels are proper, whether his living conditions will be okay. And then when they put a stamp, they said okay, they said thumbs up, then the delegatory travels to that country, right? So now it's a simple one delegatory in this material world. Now we are talking about Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So when he comes, then we have to, the whole environment has to be in proper state, in proper condition where Krishna can take birth and Krishna can do his pastimes uninterrupted. Okay, so Krishna performs his pastime, but then before that, all the demigods have to take birth. So Krishna told them, so you all have to take birth in Vraja, and then I will come. Okay, so after instructing and pacifying all the demigods as well as Bhumi with sweet words, Lord Brahma, the father of all Prajapatis or progenitors of the universal population, departed for his own abode, the highest material planet called Brahmaloka. So Brahmaji's job was over. His job was a messenger's job. He took Bhumi Devi to Lord Krishna. He meditated on Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna gave him the solution. He broadcasted the solution in the list to everyone. Okay, this is the message. You have to follow this, and then he went back. Okay, so now we'll okay, so we'll just read these two paragraphs faster. Aditi, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
The leader of Yadu dynasty, King Surashena, was ruling over the country known as Mathura, wherein lies the city of Mathura as well as the district known as Surashena, which was named after him. On account of the rule of King Surashena, Mathura became the capital city of all the kings of the Yadus. Mathura was also made the capital of the kings of the Yadu dynasty because the Yadus were a very pious family and knew that Mathura is the place where Lord Sri Krishna lives eternally, just as he lives in Dwarka. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So King Surasena was ruling over the country as known as Mathura, and then uh, the story goes on like this: that once upon a time, anyone wants to read this one, this paragraph?
I can read.
Okay, you just read one, right? Let others read. Then again, your turn will come.
Can I
Ria,
read?
yeah, sure.
From Once Upon a Time.
Yes.
Once upon a time, Vasudev, the son of Surasen, just after marrying Devki, was going home on his chariot with his newly wedded wife. The father of Devki, known as Devak, had contributed a sufficient dowry because he was very affectionate towards his daughter. He had contributed hundreds of chariots completely decorated with gold equipment. At the time, Kans was the son of Ugrasen. In order to please his sister Devki, had voluntarily taken the reins of the horses of Vasudev's chariot and was driving. According to the custom of the Vedic civilization, when a girl is married, the brother takes the sister and brother-in-law to their home. Because the newly married girl may feel too much separation from her father's family, the brother goes with her until she reaches her father-in-law's house.
Okay, so this is about Devki's marriage, that she's getting married, and Kansa, although he was a cruel king, but out of affection for for his sister, he was driving the chariot. So now, okay, now this paragraph. While the bride and bridegroom. Ria, you want to read?
Yes, I can do. From While the Bride and Bridegroom, right?
Yes.
Yeah. While the bride and bridegroom were passing along on the chariot, there were different kinds of musical instruments playing to indicate the auspicious moment. There were conch shells, bugles, drums, and kettle drums combined together. They were vibrating a nice concert. The procession was passing very pleasingly, and Kamsa was driving the chariot when suddenly there was a miraculous sound vibrated from the sky, which especially announced to Kamsa, you're such a fool. You're driving the chariot of your sister and your brother-in-law, but you do not know that the eighth child of this sister will kill you. Kansa was the son of Ugrasena of the Bhoja dynasty. It is said that Kansa was the most demonic of all the Bhoja dynasty kings. Immediately after hearing the prophecy from the sky, he caught hold of Devki's hair and was just about to kill her with his sword. Vasudeva was astonished at Kansa's behavior. In order to pacify the cruel, shameless brother-in-law, he began to speak as follows. With great reason and evidence, he said, My dear brother-in-law Kansa, you are the most famous king of the Bhoja dynasty, and people know that you are the greatest warrior and a valiant king. How is it that you are so infuriated that you are prepared to kill a woman who is your own sister at this auspicious time of her marriage? Why should you be so much afraid of death? Death is already born along with your birth. From the very day you took your birth, you began to die. Suppose you're 25 years old. That means you've already died 25 years.
Okay.
Every
thank
moment,
you. We'll stop here. Stop here. So, because it's a big chapter, so all the children who are attending, who are reading with us, will request you to either go on Vedabase or buy the book and read. We'll just explain you the gist of this first chapter. Okay, because of time constraints. So here, what we understand from this paragraph is that procession was passing very pleasingly, right? Because Kamsa himself was driving the chariot and he is the king. So everything has to go very smoothly. But suddenly a miraculous sound vibrated from the sky. So sometimes this question arises in our young hearts and young minds that how come it is possible that the sound has come from the sky? Suppose you are in a school or you are in a college, right? And you have an annual day or a sports day. So what happens? They put big loudspeakers everywhere so that whatever they announce anywhere you are in the any corner of school or in the ground, you can hear what they are trying to tell you or what they are announcing. Correct? So similarly, if you can imagine that this whole Mother Earth has been created by Krishna. So he has placed big loudspeakers everywhere from where when he announces, the news reaches to the person. And the science of the creator is so advanced that from that loudspeaker also when he announces, the sound reaches to the heart where he wants it to reach. The other hearts who are covered by illusion, by lust, by greed, and by a demonic quality that we don't know Krishna, we are atheist, we don't want to know about Krishna. So there, that sound doesn't penetrate. It's not that it cannot penetrate, it's that Krishna doesn't want it to penetrate. Right? So similarly, like the loudspeakers in any area, it can reach to its wavelength. Similarly, the loudspeaker of Krishna, it spoke from the sky to make Kansa believe that the eighth child of your sister will kill you. And now see, this is the demonic quality that Kansa, who 1 minute ago was very pleasing, very favorable to Devki, and now after 1 minute when he came to know that she is going, her son, her eighth son is going to harm him, what he did, he caught hold of Devki's hair and was ready to kill her with his sword. Right? So this is a demonic quality that when everyone is favorable, all the situations are favorable, we are very happy. But when everything goes against us, anything, not everything, even a single thing goes against us, what do? We react and we become angry and we don't want to listen to anyone and just do whatever our senses tell us to do. Correct? So this is the demonic quality. Now, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam teaches us what is godly qualities. How can we, by staying in this material world, how can we experience the blissfulness of the spiritual world? So by having godly qualities. And what are godly qualities? To be patient. Whatever the situation is, whatever the conditions is, whoever is trying to harm you, but you have to be patient and you have to have faith in your heart that Krishna is there, he's going to protect you. So what Vasudev is doing here, Vasudev is showing us godly qualities. So it's not that Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Krishna book has to be read when we become 70, 80 years old. These are the books which have to be read now. When you start reading books, when you start reading sentences, you should read Krishna book so that you know how to lead this life also peacefully. Correct? So what Vasudev did, he knew his brother-in-law Kansa is a cruel person and it's very difficult to pacify him. But here, what is the foremost requirement for Vasudev is to save his wife. So what he is doing, though he is angry, he is not liking the actions of Kamsa, but still what he is doing, he is telling him, oh my dear brother-in-law, you are such a great king, right? And why are you afraid of death? So Devki's eighth son is going to kill you, but then whosoever is born in this earth has to die. That's a fact. Correct? Have you ever seen, oh, I have taken birth and I never die? Have you met anyone like that? No. Everyone has to die. So that's what Vasudev is telling Kamsa, that everyone has to die. Someone at 20, 25, 80, 85, 100, 150, but you have. everyone, everything which is taking birth in this material world has to die. The only thing which is eternal, which is unborn, is the name of the Lord. Right? So that's why I think every moment, see, so beautifully Prabhupada explains, every moment, every second you are dying. Why then you should be so much afraid when final death is inevitable? So here Bhagavatam teaches us that we should be fearless. And how we can be fearless? When our heart will be full of love of Godhead. Right? So when it's full, when the glass is full of water, right? Plain water. If you try to put more water, it's already full. And you say, no, I'm full. I don't want anything more. So when you're fearless, your heart is full of love of Godhead, then any kind of fear cannot penetrate. And this water is not normal water of material world, which you put anything else, so it can be, it will overflow. No, it it will be overflown only by the love of Godhead. Because by the means of hearing, when you keep hearing, when you do association of devotees, then you keep hearing about Krishna Katha. So now Krishna Janmashtami is coming. So every day when we read this Krishna book, when we hear what our acharyas have told us, and when we keep repeating it in our mind, though we cannot do, even if you are not able to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, even if you are not able to chant 16 rounds, 1 round, 2 round, and the rest of the time you're thinking again and again about what we have read, how Vasudev pacified Kansa, how Krishna's plans work. See, if this way we train our mind, then our senses, eyes, ears, nose, these all senses will be under our control. Otherwise, what happens? What these senses do? These senses, every minute they say, oh, that girl has a nice purse, I want that. Oh, that girl has a nice sandal, I want that. He has a good backpack. Now that one I want. So similarly, we have so many. We hear some song, oh, this is nice, I want to hear this more. Then we taste something, oh, we want to taste it. But then when we control our senses, we tell our senses, no, everything has been created by Krishna and it has to be first offered to Krishna. So I will eat food only the sattvic food cooked at home, offered to Krishna, then only I eat. I'll hear only Krishna Katha, I'll hear Krishna's Kirtan, right? And with eyes, I will have darshan of Pachvikra in the temple. Or nowadays in YouTube, everywhere, Mayapur Live, Vrindavan Live, so many Mangla Aartis, Shayan Aarti, Sandhya Aarti, so many Aartis are live. So I want to see that, right? So that way we can control our senses. So this is what Vasudev is explaining Kansa, that this material world is like an illusion, like we all are in a deep sleep. So in sleep, sometimes we see we are princes, right? We are riding on a horse, and on a white horse, a prince is coming. Then we are galloping fast in the nice forest, everything. And suddenly, Mama says, "Pour one glass on our head. Wake up! Already 6:30. Bus will go." And then we startle and wake up. Correct? So dream is over. White horse gone, forest gone, groves of forest gone, everything gone. Right? We are back to the world, and then we have to wake up and get ready and go to school. Correct? So similarly, this material world is a place where we have been given this material body so that we can revive our lost relationship with Krishna. So we don't have to be scared. So if we are able to do that, we don't have to be worried about anything. And Vasudev is telling the nature of mind is flipping. Every minute, if at this point, if I say, okay, think of a pink elephant, all your mind will immediately go, how pink elephant will look. You can, some kind of creature you can imagine your mind. There's no elephant like pink elephant. At least I have not seen, okay? So I have seen only gray elephant of this material world. So, but our mind goes there. Yes, you will leave thinking about Krishna and you start thinking about pink elephant. So similarly, we have to control our mind. So that's what Vasudev is telling Kansa, that we get this body because of our desires. We must have desired, oh, I have to study in this school, or I should have this kind of parents in our some previous births. So that's why we are in a particular body. right? And whatever we remember at the time of death, that kind of body we get. So we have to train our mind and our body to serve the Lord, not to serve our senses. So we should not be greedy for more and more, right? So two things we learn from this chapter of Krishna book. That first thing, we can become fearless by chanting Lord's name. Second, we should not be greedy. We should be greedy, but for what? To learn more and more about Krishna. How Krishna took incarnation, on whose request Krishna came to this world. So now you all know, right? On whose request Krishna came. On whose request, Agrima? Krishna took incarnation to come to this world on whose request? This now you read, right? Who requested Krishna? Who prayed to Krishna? Anyone? Who meditated on Krishna?
Lord Brahma.
Yes, on whose request? Who came to Lord Brahma? Lord Brahma just for fun went to Krishna and say, okay, my dear sir, now you have been resting so much in the milk ocean, now come over. No, right? No, then who came to Brahma?
Dharti Bhumi Ma.
Yes, Bhumi Devi came, right? And because she was overburdened by all the troubles created by the cruel prince. So similarly, our heart is troubled by so many anxieties, worries, desires. Yes, and when we get so much distress, then we approach to the Lord. That Lord, please relieve me of all this. So now Vasudev is saying, "Ki your sister, you should not kill Devki. Why? First thing, she is a lady. Second thing, she is newly married. And third thing, she is your younger sister. And you are a famous king, right? So if you kill her like this, then it will not bring any good reputation to you. All the good reputation you have, it will get destroyed. But then, see, here Srila Prabhupada writes, because of his demoniac association, he doesn't want to listen to Vasudev. So association. The word association here, if you have book in your hand, you can underline. The word association is of utmost importance. With what kind of people you are associating. So people say, right, कि आप जैसा एसोसिएशन करोगे आप वैसे बन जाओगे, जैसी रंगत वैसी संगत, राइट? नहीं, जैसी संगत वैसी रंगत. So association, it is not coming out of the blue from somewhere. It is coming from our shastras, from our scriptures. It says, so we have to learn from this, that if we stay with good people, good friends, good children, then we learn good qualities, good things. Otherwise, if they are not behaving properly, they are misbehaving or they're using bad words or anything, so we also become like that. So that's why to develop godly qualities, we should have devotees association. To develop love for Krishna, we should read Sri Krishna book, right? So as we said, we are nearing Janmashtami on Friday, so we must read every day. We must read Krishna book. We must read the paragraphs and try to understand what our acharyas are telling us. Okay, so two questions answered. That first thing, why Krishna took incarnation, on whose behest he took incarnation, and the third thing, the Akashvani, the miraculous sound from the sky, is not a myth, it's a reality. It can be, when on loudspeaker something can be announced, so Krishna's loudspeaker is coming from the sky directly to Kamsa. And it's not only Kamsa, it's to us, that if we don't follow instructions, if we don't chant Hare Krishna, our heart will be full of fear. And if we want to become fearless, we have to listen, we have to associate, and we have to chant Hare Krishna, right? So now Vasudev has given all his good reasoning to Kamsa, but then Kamsa is not ready to listen. So now, can anyone read what Vasudev tries next? Agrima, you want to read?
Yes, now I can read the body.
Yeah, failing in his attempt.
Falling in his attempt, Parvati Krishna Vasudev wondered how
Kamsa,
he would
failing in his attempt to pacify Kamsa. Abhi Krishna is not born.
Kamsa. Vasudev wondered how he would protect his wife Devaki when there is immediate danger. In intelligent person should try avoid the danger portion as far possible, but it in spite of endeavoring by all intelligence one fall about the danger portion. There was fault on his part. One should try his best encourage his dishes, but if it is attempt fall, he would not at fault.
Yes. So here, what our acharyas are telling us, what Srila Prabhupada is telling us, that when we are in dangerous position, we should use all our intelligence, right? We should endeavor to come out of that. But suppose we get less marks in exam, or suppose we want to qualify for some curricular activity, or we want to qualify for some badminton, football, cricket, or anything, but we are not able to do that. We try, we endeavor, we put our 100, 200% in that, but then still we don't qualify for it. Still we don't meet the deadline. Then what is there? What we should do? We should not get disheartened, because our job is to execute our duties to the best of our ability. But then endeavor plus mercy of Krishna results to success. So if Krishna's mercy is not there, then success will not be there. But the intelligent person, the wise person, the devotees of the Lord don't get disheartened. They try again, right? Because then it means there is some lack in our service to Krishna. That's why our results are not fruitful. Correct? So you should never get disheartened if your attempts are not successful. You should just keep trying for that. Yes. So Vasudev, it's not Vasudev, it's Vasudev. Vasudev is Krishna. Vasudev's son is Vasudev, right? So Vasudev is, you can say, as Krishna's father. Devki and Vasudev are Krishna's parents. So Vasudev is thinking, let me save Devki first, then later we will think how to save children. First, this danger I have to cross over. Then later we will think, or maybe if that child, if the prophecy is saying that a child will kill Kansa, then as it is, we all will be saved, right? So at the moment, I have to save Devki. So, but then Kansa is very cruel, very shrewd, because he is a demon personified. He just wants his own benefit. He doesn't want to gratify anyone's end senses, only his senses, and how he can live eternally, right? So here what Vasudev is doing. Hare Krishna, Aditi.
Hare Krishna. Vasudev, after deliberating on how to save his wife, began to speak to Kamsa with great respect, although Kamsa was the most sinful man. Sometimes it happens that a most virtuous person like Vasudeva has to flatter a person like Kamsa, a most vicious person. That is the way of all diplomatic transactions. Although Vasudeva was deeply aggravated, he smiled outwardly. He addressed the shameless Kamsa in that way because he was so atrocious. Vasudeva said to Kamsa, "My dear brother-in-law, please consider that you have no danger from your sister. You are awaiting some danger because you have heard a prophetic voice in the sky. But the danger is to come from the sons of your sister, who are not present now. And who knows, there may or may not be sons in the future. Considering all these, you are safe for the present, nor is there cause of fear from your sister. If there are any sons born of her, I promise that I shall present all of them to you for necessary action." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Vasudev is trying to pacify Kamsa so that he can save his wife from the danger. So, and Kamsa, although a cruel king, he knew that Vasudev is a man of words. He will not go back on his words. So, and for that moment, he let them go. And then after that, Riya, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Each year thereafter, in due course of time, Devaki gave birth to a child. Thus, she gave birth to 8 male children as well as one daughter. When the first son was born, Vasudeva kept his word of honor and immediately brought the child before Kamsa. It is said that Vasudeva was very much elevated and famous for his word of honor, and he wanted to maintain this fame. Although it was very painful for Vasudeva to hand over the newly born child, Kamsa was very glad to receive him. But he became a little compassionate with the behavior of Vasudeva. This event is very exemplary for a great soul like Vasudeva. There is nothing considered to be painful in the course of discharging one's duty. A learned person like Vasudeva carries out his duties without hesitation. On the other hand, a demon like Kamsa never hesitates in committing any abominable action. It is said, therefore, that a saintly person can tolerate all kinds of miserable conditions of life. A learned man can discharge his duties without awaiting favorable circumstances. A heinous person like Kamsa can act in any sinful way, and a devotee can sacrifice everything to satisfy the supreme personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, devotee's whole and sole purpose of life is to serve Krishna, to satisfy Krishna's senses, not his own senses. Because it is said, if we are able to satisfy Krishna, then everything will be favorable. But the demons, the demonic quality is what they want to satisfy their senses. I want to eat everything abominable. I want to see everything abominable. I want to hear everything abominable. But the learned persons, the persons who want to develop godly qualities, they always try to follow what the Lord has prescribed. We have some prescribed duties, like we wake up in the morning and we say, "Thank you, Krishna, for this beautiful day." Then we offer one tulsi leaf or water or fruit or whatever we have cooked, like a sattvic food without onion garlic. We offer to Krishna and then we accept it as prasad, right? So devotees have to do some prescribed duties. So anything, like if you want to, suppose you want to get into a very big college like IIT, AIMS, NUS, something like that, then you have to follow a disciplinary action rule every day, right? To achieve that goal, you have to be very disciplined. You have to wake up at this time, study at this time, do other activities at this time. You follow a particular timetable, right? So then only you are able to achieve that goal. So here, to achieve the love of Godhead, we have to be, first thing, we have to be satisfied with whatever we have. We have to do our part. We have to endeavor. We have to struggle. Everything we have to do. But then whatever the result is there, we have to accept it as a mercy of Krishna. So we have to be satisfied with that, right? And we should be greedy only for the love of Godhead, only to know more and more about Krishna, right? So then when Vasudev brought his first son to Kamsa, Kamsa was very much surprised that how can somebody be so pure and so can keep to his words that he can bring his child to me like that. So he said, okay, why should I take him? I will take the 8th son only. And he sent him back. And Vasudev happily returned back, but he knew that Kamsa senses are not in control. So any minute he can change his decision, right? He is not a man of words like Vasudev, that once he has said, okay, go. So whatever come may, he will not kill his son. So, but he was very much anxious in his heart. And the same thing happened when the great sage Narada came to Kamsa and informed him that all the demigods have already taken birth in Braja to support Krishna's mission. So here we have to understand, like in movies, they are showing that Narad Muni is someone who is just trying to instigate demons and create troubles for demigods. No, it's not like that. Narad Muni is a great sage. He's a great devotee of the Lord. See, unless and until somebody is a devotee of the Lord, how is he allowed to travel in the three worlds without visa, without passport, without red, blue, green, any card? He can travel anywhere. He just on his veena he sings Hare Krishna, and then he can travel anywhere. He doesn't need any passport, any visa, any re-entry permit. Okay, I can travel to this country again, because he has served Lord to that extent that Lord is so pleased with him that he has given him this benediction that he can travel anywhere. And while traveling, what he is doing? Going and taking selfies. Oh, I'm looking nice. Oh, this place is nice. I'll take selfie. Yes. No, Narad Muni is not wasting time like that. Like us, Narad Muni is what he is doing? He is trying to propagate Krishna's name. He's trying to uplift the conditioned souls like us who are bound by our desires. He wants us to get free of those desires and to accelerate the birth of the eighth child. Narada told Kamsa that everybody has come, so if you leave child like that, you don't know which number is 8. Krishna is counting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or Krishna is counting 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? So which one is 1? You don't know first child is 8 or the last child is 8. So that way Narad Muni told Kamsa. Okay, so when Kamsa heard that, what he did, he immediately shackled Vasudev and Devaki in iron chains. And then after that, whenever Vasudev and Devaki gave birth to a child year after year, so they were thinking, because they were hopeful, they were thinking, oh, this child may be the incarnation of Vishnu, this child may be the incarnation of Vishnu, this child might be Krishna, and then he will save us from all these troubles. But then Kamsa killed all the 6 children. So, see, here Srila Prabhupada explains the position of Kamsa is not difficult to understand, because in history also, if you see, there are many kings who have killed their own brothers, own sister, own father to become the king themselves, right? So this is what, this is our unlimited desires, unlimited senses. Although they are born in a royal family, right? Even if they don't kill their brothers and sisters, they will get all, they are enjoying all the royalties in the world, right? Because they are in the royal kingdom, they are born in the royal kingdom, they have everything. But still, because we have uncontrolled senses, we want more. That's why the first thing to lead a successful life is to be satisfied. We have to endeavor, but we have to be satisfied. And endeavor and satisfaction attracts Krishna's mercy. And my dear Vaishnavis and Vaishnavas, there is nothing more than that we need in this material body. If we attract the mercy of Krishna, after that the life automatically becomes successful. Right? So this is the last paragraph. Anyone wants to read? Hiteshri, you want to read?
Yes, I'll read it. The last paragraph from he
Yeah,
first.
here Kamsa was made of there.
Okay. Kamsa was made aware of his previous birth by the grace of Nara. He learned that in his previous birth he had been a demon of the name Kalanemi, and that he had been killed by Vishnu. Having now taken his birth in the Bhoja family, he decided to become the deadly enemy of the Yadu dynasty. Krishna was going to take birth in that family, and Kamsa was very much afraid that he would be killed by Krishna, just as he had been killed in his last birth.
Yeah, this last one also.
Okay. He first of all imprisoned his father Ugrasen because he was the chief king among the Yadu, Bhoja, and Andhaka dynasties. And he also occupied the kingdom of Surasena, Vasudev's father. he declared himself the king of all such places.
Yes. So thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the first chapter of Krishna, the advent of Lord Krishna. Hari Bol. So here what we learn from this, that we are also aware that because we wanted to enjoy something separate from Krishna, that's why we have been sent to this world. So now our job is to remember him and go back to Golok, right? So if we don't control our senses, if we don't control our mind, then like a horse whose rein has been let loose will run everywhere and will go nowhere, will reach nowhere, correct? Because the horse without a rein doesn't know where to go. He looks, oh, here is green grass, he goes there. Oh no, there is green, then he runs there. Oh no, there he runs there. But when he has a master with him, then he tells them, oh no, this is the best, you do this. He does it and he's satisfied, right? So similarly, we have to hold on to the lotus feet of our master, Sri Krishna. Then we will be, when we meditate on him, when we remember him with all our heart, then we will be in a safe position. Then we'll be fearless, we'll not be greedy, because greed gives rise to anxiety, and anxiety gives rise to anger. And anger is always one word short of danger. What we all do in anger, right? Or the things which are going straight, which are in our favor, we just mess up everything just because of anger. So we don't have to attack anger. Oh, why did I get angry? Oh, why I'm doing like this? No, we have to understand what is the root cause of that anger. So we have to first clear our heart of this anxiety, this anger, and the root cause is the greed, the uncontrolled mind and the senses. So we don't have to become Kamsa, we have to become Vasudeva, and we have to try to welcome Krishna in our heart, and to welcome Krishna in our heart so that he's seated in the golden throne of all your dear devotees, young hearts. What you have to do, you have to dust the golden throne. For so many years we have not remembered him, we have not loved him, we have not worshipped him. So the dust of greed, the fear has been accumulated on that throne. So we have to dust it. And how we can dust it? What is the simple way? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that we can do dusting. Take a cloth and dust our heart, right? Dust and the dust will go away, right, Agrima? Can? No, right?
No.
What we have to do? Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare. So this way, slowly but surely, if we keep chanting, we keep meditating, Krishna will definitely guide us to our heart. And because he is in our heart, we don't have to go out anywhere on any mountain or any caves, anywhere we don't have to go to look for him. Because he as Paramatma, he as Super Soul is residing in our heart. So to get connected to him, we don't need any internet connection also. We just have to chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Right? So Krishna willing, we'll continue reading Krishna book till Janmashtami, and if Srimati Radharani desires, we can continue after that also. So keep joining, keep attending, and keep chanting, and prepare your heart to welcome this Janmashtami. Welcome Krishna with a lot of gratitude. Okay, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Hare
Supreme
Krishna.
Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna ki Jai.
Jai.
And Samast Bhakti Vrinda ki Jai.
Jai.
All
Jai.
glories to assembled devotees of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.